Okay, lovelies, here we go. This is episode number 135, and I'm going to talk about 10 popular lies out there about getting healthy. And getting healthy is in quotation marks that keep you stuck. So when you're thinking about starting a new program, or you feel like, yeah, I want to make some changes in my life and I want to be healthier, maybe you've been feeling uncomfortable in your body, or you just know that your habits aren't where you would like them to be. And maybe something recently happened with a family member and their health that scared you, or maybe you just turned a big age that you never thought you would turn and you feel ready to turn a new leaf. Maybe yeah, you've been diagnosed with an illness and you want to start taking better care of your health. You're worried about what it's costing you, what your choices are costing you. And I mention these things because these are often when people do want to make big changes. So if you're here and or if you're not and you just want to live a little bit of a healthier lifestyle, I want to give you some common misconceptions or lies out there that a lot of us believe in. They stop us from taking action. And I'm going to kind of break this down. The whole premise of getting healthy can be this big, we tie so much, just for context, we tie so much of our value and our worthiness in society with how healthy we are or how healthy we're trying to be. So there's, again, where you live in a context that we don't live in a vacuum, and health and fitness are status markers in our society for sure. If you think about it, you see people going through all these transformations with not only their looks, maybe doing facial surgery like celebrities or musicians, artists, but they also go through like a physical change. I think of, if you've seen, to promote their status, if you've seen, what was it? It's Are You the One on, or Perfect Match on Netflix. It's like a hodgepodge of all these Netflix reality stars. And I watched a little bit of the first episode, and this guy Jimmy, I don't know his last name, but this guy Jimmy comes on. I'm like, whoa, he looks different. What changed about him? And I looked it up, and he got all this work done, and he started to have a quote unquote healthier lifestyle, i.e., working out and getting buff, and lost some weight. And so went through this transformation. It's almost expected that celebrities and people on TV, people who are artists, do these kinds of transformations. Like, it elevates their status. It really does in our society. So there's a lot of heaviness around getting healthy. And sometimes the motivation is for our look, sometimes it's for more internal reasons. But I just want to give you some support and perspective so that it feels less daunting for you and you'll feel better about the choices that you're making that are helpful for you. So here we go. Getting healthy lie, popular lie. Number one, I need to give up what I like or what I enjoy. If you think about a diet mentality where it's like, I'm going to start on Monday, I'm going to enjoy everything I can this week because next week I can't do it. And that's a sense of bargaining with ourselves to measure out things we don't like with things we like. It's kind of like, you can go play outside with your friends, but you have to do your homework first. And there's nothing necessarily inherently wrong about this, but we don't have to, the truth is, you don't have to give up everything that you like. And I'm not saying like, oh, just eat one bite of the brownie, or uh, just like plug your nose when you're eating this fish oil. I'm not saying that you have to grin and bear it. Or that you have to like suffer in it. It is totally possible for you to completely enjoy your life while being healthy. And actually, enjoyment and play and pleasure is a huge part of health. And we don't often see it that way, because the next popular lie is that I need to be deprived and I need to struggle hard. there's a really big idea in fitness of like earning your body or earning food through working hard, or it's more valuable if you're suffering, if you're deprived. And this comes from old puritanical and Christian ideas of suffering equals love. If you think about it in a big picture sense, the premise of Christianity, and I know it's different for different religions, the premise of Christianity is that God sends his son, at least evangelical Christianity, God sends his son to die for our sins, and we're born sinners, and some big sacrifice had to be made for us to have a relationship with God. So there's kind of that mindset like, if I'm not working hard, if there's no pain, then it's not worth it. And spoiler alert, things don't have to be painful for them to be beneficial. Yes, if you're choosing one thing, you're going to be not choosing something else. Like if you're going to go on a run, you're choosing not to do something else with your time. But that doesn't mean that you have to struggle so hard. Like actually, you can work with your body and have a lot more ease and enjoyment, and you don't have to be deprived. And I can get why you wouldn't want to get healthier or start something big if you thought that you had to struggle hard and it was just work, pain, 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 pain. Another one, and I would have not said this earlier in my career, but I want you to hear me out here. Another popular lie is I need to have a specific goal. Like I need to lose 20 pounds, or I need to be a specific body weight. I need to uh, only eat clean foods. Like I need to have a really clear goal if I'm going to be doing this health thing. And a lot of the times, those goals can help clarify what we really want, because getting healthy is a broad term and a general goal. But you don't need to have a specific goal. You can just start taking steps on the path towards what you want. So if you might have a goal that comes up later, but you don't need a specific number or time or accomplishment goal in order to start. You can just start like today. Another thing is another popular lie is I need to drastically change everything. So if I'm going to get healthy, that means I'm going to throw away all the junk food in the fridge and in the cabinets. I'm going to start ordering my meals, or I'm going to go grocery shopping and do a really clean, quote unquote, clean grocery list. And I'm going to start being a runner, and like I'm going to start going to the gym. I'm going to just like change everything in my life. And often this can backfire, because changing so much in your life at once sometimes might work, but it also usually, I would say from my experience, it usually leads to slip ups that make you feel like a failure. And by slip ups, I don't mean they're actual mistakes, but they're not what you intended. Like, oh, maybe you'll stop by the the restaurant and get drive through food or pick up food, and then you'll feel really guilty because you don't have any food in your house that you really crave and that you want to eat. Or you'll go to the gym and take a nap and you'll feel like you'll beat yourself up. So the truth is that you don't have to drastically change everything, and actually making small changes over time is way more beneficial. And I'm going to keep going down these popular lies and misconceptions. Another one, and the next two are kind of related, is I need someone or something to tell me exactly what to do. I need to know exactly what I need to eat, how many calories, my macros. I need to know my exact workout plan. Give me a 3-day workout plan that I can follow. I just need someone to tell me what to do, or I need to have a trainer that just tells me what to do. And while if you've never really had much experience with exercise, or you're coming back into it, or nutrition, it can be helpful to have guidelines. It can be helpful to have direction. This idea comes from like, it's either right or it's wrong. it fits into this template of good. And if it's not in that template of good, then I must be messing something up. And the truth is, intuitively, if you ask yourself, you probably know a general idea of what is helpful for you. And I think what is severely lacking in health and fitness and what we need to grow and incorporate more is self-trust, trust in our bodies. And yes, that takes time. And yes, it can be helpful to have like a crutches, so to speak, or tricycle, like have a tricycle training wheels in the beginning to help you get off your feet. But you don't need one right way that someone's going to tell you to do. Another one along these lines is I don't have any discipline or willpower, so I need someone to keep me in check. And there's this idea of this drill sergeant, coach, or trainer who's like yelling at you and telling you to do one more rep and pushing you and screaming at you. And again, while I'm not obviously not against training, I'm a trainer. We feel like we need to outsource our decisions and to someone else, whereas the best skill you can build is learning to trust yourself and listen to your body and know when you can do one more rep and when you can't do one more rep. So waiting for someone, the perfect someone, to tell you exactly what to do and to keep you disciplined and is really prolonging your progress. And if you struggle with discipline or willpower, there could be a lot at play there. I just did a podcast episode that will be coming out, and I was saying how our brains can know what we need to do and we can know the right stuff to do, but our bodies might not comply. And there's lots of reasons for that. We look at our history, we look at what kind of messages our bodies store. Your body could feel terrified of exercise, and your brain says, no, I need to do it. But your body is terrified, and ultimately, your body is probably going to win. And we have to address all of those issues. Another popular lie or misconception is I have to look like X to be healthy, or I have to have X to be healthy. So if I want to be healthy, I have to have a six pack. If I want to be healthy, I have to lose this belly. If I want to be healthy, I need to have visible muscles on my body. And that is simply not true. Even if you look at like the Olympic people in the Olympics, every different body types, different body shapes and sizes. Would you say that they're unhealthy? Would you say one of those shot put throwers are unhealthy? Or I don't know. I can't think of other sports off the top of my head. But healthy is not a specific look. And it's not about having six pack abs or having bulging muscles. That's not necessary for health. And everyone's bodies are different. And it's helpful to remember that genetics play a big role, environment plays a big role, and there might be some acceptance of, yeah, my body's not going to ever look like this, and that's okay. Another misconception related to this is I need to lose weight to be healthy. And sometimes that can be discouraging because when we're chasing weight loss, it can be elusive. A lot of the times when we're starting training, our bodies don't change the way that we expect them to, especially if you're doing strength training. Your your body composition might change, as in you are gaining more muscle. And so even though the weight might look the same or it might go up, the composition of your body is changing. So for a lot of us, really not paying attention to weight could be the most beneficial thing in regards to getting healthier desire. Because weight fluctuates depending on the time of day, depending on the time of month, depending on where you are at in your cycle. If you menstruate, or if you're in menopause, your weight can fluctuate. What's more important is to focus on the actions that will give you the results that you want, and focus on applying those actions. And studies show, like I've said in this show before, that health does not equal weight. It might be specifically healthy for someone to lose weight in our medical industry. If you're in a bigger body, that's usually what the doctors will tell you first of all. And a lot of illnesses go overlooked because the doctors are so focused purely on weight loss for certain clients that they completely miss what's actually happening. So my encouragement to you is really just kind of throw out the scale and weight loss as the goal, and focus on doing things that are beneficial for your body, like drinking water and doing a variety of movement, having fun, having good social connections, taking time to relieve stress, sleeping well, eating plants and foods that give your body good energy. And then another one, kind of like I need someone to tell me exactly what to do. It's a little bit similar to that, but I have to join a gym or a workout class and follow a diet. So if I'm going to get healthy, people think, okay, the gym, workout class, diet, food. Like, and to be honest, health is comprised of so much more than just our diet and our movement. And we usually think of those two things when we think of our health, but there are so many more factors, including the quality of our relationships, which is the biggest determinant of health and longevity, is the quality of our relationships. There are social determinants of health, like our economic status, our neighborhood, our access to medical care, our environment. So many of these contribute to our health. So don't gyp yourself on your health by only focusing on exercise and diet, and thinking that in order to be healthy, you need to have a gym membership, or you need to be in a group where someone is telling you what to do. If you enjoy that, great, but you don't need to. Even just taking a walk in nature could be super healthy for you. Or maybe going to a market and talking with the person you buy a vegetable from and making that connection can be super healthy for you. There are so many more ways to be healthy than just going to the gym or following a specific diet. Have I made my case? And lastly, this is the 10th one. I need to do everything perfectly or it doesn't count. This requires some honesty, and sometimes it's hard for us to see what our standards and ideals are because they're in our head and we just automatically take them as truth. But you probably, if you were to write down a list of everything you think is healthy, and this is not a bad idea to do, what does getting healthy actually look like? And then writing it down, all these ideas and standards in your head. And probably there's some part of you that is like, unless I don't do most of these things, or unless I don't follow all of these, I'm not really being healthy. It doesn't really count. So it's this black and white thinking that a lot of us have. I know I do too. It's like everything must be perfect, exactly right, or it doesn't matter at all. It's like all or nothing, 100 or zero. Would you rather have $67 or $0? You'd probably take $67, right? And so kind of think of that analogy when it comes to your health. Is like, are you trying to get to only 100 or it's zero, or are you willing to have some? It might not be exactly where you think it should be, and also bringing some curiosity and questioning around why you think those things should be, and if they're true or not, if they're valid or if they're applicable or practical for you, can be helpful. But really, and I know you've probably heard this, every little thing counts and it all adds up. I had a guest, Sherry McAllister, and she talked about kind of having your health being kind of like a bank account where when you make healthy choices, it like deposits value in your health bank account. And then when you do have a rough time, like stresses come up or injuries, you have a little bit more to draw on. And that's a great analogy. So like you don't have to put everything in there, but like each choice you make that is helpful and positive for you personally, because it might be different for someone else. For example, for some people, it might be healthy to eat a smaller portion of ice cream. For someone else, it might be healthier to eat a larger portion of ice cream, depending on where your mindset is and where you are. Might be in recovery with an eating disorder, for example. So there's no one right way for everyone, and there is no perfect. Really, the only perfect that exists is you, in that you are complete and you are whole already. And really starting there, I know health can be such an overwhelming thing and it's really loaded. Like I shared in the beginning, it's related to our status, it's related to our social standing, it's related to our acceptability and value in this world, which sucks. So it can feel extra heavy, and we all have stories, we all have experiences in our bodies, both positive and negative, with health and fitness. So we have all those memories, whether we're aware of them or not, that affect us. But the true definition of health, how I define it, is empowerment in your body. So you're empowered knowing what works for you, empowered knowing that those critical voices, those monster voices in your head that tell you you're never good enough or never skinny enough or never fit enough, that you don't have to listen to them. And then health is energy because you're aligned with your spirit, yourself, your essence, and you feel alive in this world. So doing what gives you more life. And then embodiment, being in your body, not just in your head, but being in your body, experiencing life through your senses, through your organs, through the body that you have, and being in it. Empowerment, energy, and embodiment. And in the 4-H method, we start really slowly. It's very different from most programs. We start with where most programs don't start. We start with just you, and we start with rest and hope in the hope pillar. And then we slowly integrate happiness and what that looks like from a holistic point of view, what health looks like from a holistic point of view. And then we discuss habits and work on creating a more enriching and enjoyable and effective relationship with food and with movement, and then ultimately health. So I hope that this encourages you. If it struck a chord with you and you'd like to share it with someone else who you might want to have listen to maybe one or two of these points, please do. And let me know how this lands for you. If there's any other healthy misconceptions, getting healthy misconceptions out there that you would like to share, please do.